tasks for a production team.
It was actually really incredible what it took to pull this off. We had to transport the cast one at a time to the hotel from pre-designated meetup spots so that they wouldn't accidentally see each other. We had a whole team on walkies. I don't even think we were saying their names because we didn't want to risk anybody hearing anybody else's name. PAs were there to greet them at the entrance, bring them to the elevator, go upstairs, go to their rooms.
The first few hours of that day felt like Fort Knox. Every cast member had a PA on them to make sure they didn't stray. Once they were in their rooms, they were locked in their rooms. They were told to be like super quiet.
We put buffer rooms in between each player to account for the fact that their neighbor might hear.
Please help me. When you think about what else has to go into planning a show like Ratfish, you're talking about adding creative producers to be inside every single room that we shoot in.
And not only were they typing everything that they were saying, they had to communicate with us what was going on in the room.
We needed to really encourage every player and remind them to verbalize, to think out loud, to react out loud, to make for a compelling narrative.
We had audio feeds from each room, but you couldn't listen to them all at once because it was just a cacophony.
There's so much that happened that day that I don't even know, that none of us saw, and that we're only going to discover once we go into the edit.
We had all of the gameplay going on over Slack. In a way, we were almost like playing the game with the players as the production team because we only knew as much as we were able to see on Slack.
The scale of it was almost like a full-blown reality show. This wasn't a game show anymore. We had to bring on a special team of people that shoot reality. They were able to build out this amazing system where we could monitor and control each camera remotely down the hallway.
Walking into that control room the morning of the shoot was like, it felt like we were in mission control and we were like sending someone to the moon or something. It was such a huge production.
We were trying to shoehorn an entire season into a single day. You have to think on your feet. Paul and I probably did more redesigning of the game on the fly that episode than we did in any other episode.
A part of me was worried that we would end the game and that no player would have figured out everyone's identity. I thought that was a very real possibility. When Reika straight up got it, Sam and I were looking at each other like, what do we even do?
Okay, I've literally never gotten first place in maybe anything. What? Reika, you got everyone correct?
Inevitably, as happens in the circle, the game ends up twisting in directions that you don't necessarily predict it will. I could never have predicted that Reika would get the solution as early as she did. I don't think Reika predicted it. I mean, she was shocked. But of course, that couldn't be our whole game.
And then Katie figured out the answer. And so then we were like, well, should we call it a tie?
I won immunity. Oh my God. I'm so happy because I was so close to switching things up. Yes. Fuck yes.
Paul and I were sitting there. We realized that the Ratfish had one more advantage left to give, and that advantage could be a tiebreaker.
But one of you had the Ratfish's favorite piece of artwork from the last challenge. The winner, Katie Murray.
I think despite the long day, like everybody had a really amazing time. By the time they were all seated around a table together, there was like so much catharsis in finally seeing each other's faces after hanging out with each other virtually all day. You could really feel it. It's like we were all drunk on that energy. Not having Eric at that final table, I am fully aware is going to be seen as a controversial decision. There was something about leading up to the final moments of the day where I just really couldn't imagine that table being anyone else but us.
To Katie.
To Katie.
Game Changer to me feels a lot like summer camp. Most of our crew are working on other productions, sometimes with us, sometimes outside of Dropout. And whenever we wrap a season of Game Changer, there always is a bittersweetness.
As the work has gotten more ambitious, everyone who works in Game Changer has that feeling. Like, wow, I did it. We did it. And We did it without burning the house down.
It's just a leap of faith to be like, okay, I have this insane idea, 9 rooms, each with super heavy handed decor. And then it comes together and you hold your breath and then you see the frame.